kids, 31 Days of Halloween continues with this little oddity. I never saw this, never heard of it. I think it's from 1987. Yes, 90-minute movie made for TV, written and directed by Richard Rothstein. Bates Motel. This is a very odd thing. This goes away from, Psycho Killer to Ghost Story. The oddness starts out with Dr. Goodman, played by Robert Picardo. He's in charge of this young boy who ended up killing his stepfather, who was very abusive, and he was put into an asylum. Apparently the same asylum that Norman Bates is at, because Dr. Goodman thinks Norman would be a good mentor for this young lad. The boy is named Alex West. As an adult, he's played by Bud Cort. Well, eventually, I guess during the time that Alex and Norman were, becoming friends, Norman was somewhat normal. Oh, by the way, this is like a direct sequel to the original film. It ignores all the sequels. 2 and 3, I think, were done by this time, and Norman was never going to be released. But of course, Goodman pair them up. They become friends. Norman's much older. He eventually dies, and he still owns the Bates Motel, and he gives it to Alex. And this is the story of Alex going there and renovating it, and he finds. Since this was a TV series, or proposed TV series, they have the regulars that were going to be in the show. Willie, played by Lori Petty, which is great. I love Bud Cort and Lori Petty. For the most part, I think they were two reasons why this was tolerable. It is somewhat entertaining in a odd, like I said, oddity sort of way. And Henry Watson, Moses Gunn, plays him. It would have been the regulars on the show. We have the banker, Tom Fuller, played by Greg Henry. Pretty much playing a Greg Henry type of character. Well, it's bizarre. It's really bizarre. They end up, or Alex West, Bud Cort, renovates the place. Even builds a cafe. There's a wall between the road and the parking area, which is extremely wise. It has this southwestern feel to it, which is, I think, appropriate to the region where the original was original took place. Um, the ghost story type stuff happens. Uh, Starting with they end up accidentally digging up Mrs. Bates, who I believe they call Gloria Bates, not Norma. Uh, and then we start seeing more often, actually, lights in the window, the bedroom, and plus the silhouette of Mrs. Bates, and we eventually do see her pretty vividly. But that's going on. It gets to the point where, well, it's the first day that the motel opens, and the first guest has a completely separate storyline, which finishes out the show, or the movie. She has her own little ghost story. So this is obviously what's going to be the theme of the show. Probably think Fantasy Island. People come in. They have their own ghost stories. They learn a lesson in life and that type of stuff. I would have watched it just because of Bud Cort and Lori Petty. I think it's worth watching for it just being this oddball thing. I had never heard of it until I picked up this pack called Psycho. It has Psycho 2, 3, Psycho 4, the TV movie that Mick Garris directed, and the Bates Motel, which I never heard of until I picked it up. Well, that's which one? This is the 25th of the 31 days of Halloween, and until tomorrow, stay safe and always have a good time. Bye now.